Hey, Game Cats! It's Steve from Scotland here. Welcome to another edition of PSVR without no PSVR without Patrol. What is it called again? Welcome to another edition of PSVR without Parole, and this is Hey, welcome to PSVR without Parole, and this is Viewer Takeover. Woo!
Yeah, you guys are ready. Let's do this. This is Viewer Takeover. We film every Monday night and then we bring it to YouTube sometime on Tuesday. No promises as to when, no promises as to Tuesday. My name is Brian Paul from Without Parole right here. This channel, subscribe, like, share the YouTube things you say. To my left, your right. That's right. Is AJ from PSVR Underground.
Yo, what's going on, Brian Paul? We in it today, homie.
How's it going, AJ?
I really tried to say something this time.
I don't know, man.
See, this is why it's better that I'm just like, sup?
So I'm never
just
gonna,
let me be.
Nope,
let me be the stoic
He just
me.
wants you to have interesting things.
Let me just be the stoic. It snowed in Atlanta the other day.
Oh wow,
It doesn't ever
cool.
snow here.
And to my far left, but probably to also your far left, is Dave from Dave Station VR.
Hello out there, everyone. We've got all kinds of great questions today.
We do.
And how about that intro? Steve from Scotland.
How-
Two T's.
How about
not
that
real
intro?
Scotland. He's from Scott's place, I guess. I don't know what Scotland with two T's is.
Yeah,
Man, I really am
Scotland.
oblivious because I didn't realize a single thing you guys picked up on that video.
Well, he's also got his advertisements in the background. That's fine, Steve. Don't do it again.
No, Steve seems like a pretty good guy. He's running his own business. He's one guy doing this whole thing. So we're very proud of all of our successful game cats. We want all of you guys to be
Yes.
successful. But you
Bunch
know,
of entrepreneurs out there.
but let's not make this a habit, guys. Like, that's all I got to say. But if you want to introduce next week's viewer takeover, withoutparole@gmail.com. Keep it short, keep it simple. Listen, guys, really, all you have to do, point the camera at yourself, say, hey, I'm Brian the Game Cat. Well, this is viewer takeover. Yeah, real simple. I'm Brian Paul the Game Cat. Just use your own words or use mine. I don't care. Send it to withoutparole@gmail.com. Keep it short, keep it simple, keep it sexy. But
Doctor, sensual.
Steve from Scotland is not the only person we want to thank this week, is he?
I
No.
don't think so. Unless something's changed.
How about the people that are the ones keeping this channel running, Brian?
These people down here. These are people who went to patreon.com/withoutparole.
Games.
And they're the ones giving us $1 or more every single month. For that $1, not only do you get your name on this lovely scroll down here with all of the illustrious,
Quite a
fluffiest
list.
game cats.
Quite illustrious, in
It is
fact.
quite a
Very
list.
illustrious.
Yeah, awesome people on this list. So you know you're doing the right thing if you're on that list. But not only that, but you get, I mean, kind of the weirdest shit ever. Pretty much once a week, once every 2 weeks, you get a little mini episode of me and Jeremy hanging out, shooting the shit, talking about probably not video games. And we're just
I
having
just
a good
watched
time.
that last litter box. Great stuff. Guys,
good.
if you aren't in on this, you're missing out. Jeremy King is a fine talent in front of the camera. You don't have to give him any kind of prompting. He'll just say something entertaining.
My favorite was on the Gamescast when we were talking about the coronavirus, and Brian was like, "It could possibly be an epidemic," and Jeremy's like, "Yeah, I remember bees and quicksand." I was like, I don't remember that being an epidemic.
Spontaneous human combustion. That was
a horrible epidemic we
That was
faced.
a plague. I remember that.
Those were the things we worried about as children.
Yes.
Yeah. But Patreon supporters not the only people we want to thank. We also want to thank all the people who changed their name to GameCat. As you see in the comments all the time, there's always people that have their name something the GameCat or something GameCat adjacent.
Brian, hold on. I think you're putting the cart ahead of the horse.
That's
or the
how
horse
I
ahead of the
do
cart.
everything. Yeah.
The horse ahead of the cart.
Dave, can you believe that after
those things.
all the name changes we've had lately, not a single
There's
person,
no name.
not a single
Although,
person changed your name to GameCat.
GameCat's Market puts hashtag GameCat on every viewer taker.
Well, that's fine.
video.
You got to change your name.
GameCat's Market.
So we're gonna give a
so
shout out to GameCat's Market.
We love you so much, but we gave you a shout out like a month ago. You keep
Don't
putting
care.
hashtag GameCat. We love you so much, and whatever. I'll give you a shout out
Represent.
every week. That's all I care about. But if you change your name to something the GameCat on YouTube, so it displays in the comments below as your name, put hashtag GameCat somewhere in the comments so we can find you nice and easy like and give you a shout out on next week's show.
Oh, nice and easy.
I would do it myself, but I feel like it would sink my brand. You know, if I was associated.
I mean, Will did it. He made a whole separate account, and Will has a brand.
Well, that's fine.
I branded him. Hot
His
iron
brand
and
is
all.
just a guy who says "will" all the time in capital letters.
That's all he
That
does.
will be a great game.
Yeah.
And also,
I'm surprised he didn't make
Those are his
Squishies the
two
Game
things.
Cat.
Someone should tell him how not
Yeah.
funny that is.
Eventually, you just start getting into it, though. You're like, all right, this is what we do.
Right.
Will's here.
Yeah. All right. There's two ways to
Brian.
get your viewer takeover question onto this show right here, which is called Viewer Takeover.
That's right.
That's right. This first way is to, just like adding your name as GameCat, put hashtag Viewer Takeover, all one word, in the comments below on any of our videos, and with the question or comment following it, and we'll search for it and find it. But the other way to do it, and something you should do anyway, is join our Discord server. The link for that is in the description below this video, and you should join us over there. And if you have a question or
Discord
comment,
has been booming lately.
Really
Oh my
booming.
goodness, the conversations, man, that is like a shrine of video game knowledge that Discord has become. The conversations have been ranging. I mean, you can find the whole history of video games in that Discord lately. It's awesome.
we had a Parappa the Rapper sing along. It was
Yes, that you missed.
It was
Nice
I did.
work.
I jumped
totally
in.
missed that
I jumped
too,
in at the end
actually.
with another verse, but I mean,
That's true. You
I was
did
20
you did
minutes
catch
late.
it. Yes.
But yeah, there's a viewer takeover channel on our Discord where you can just leave your hashtag viewer takeover, which is kind of pointless for us to even address because everyone just answers people's viewer takeover questions for them before we even get around to
But
doing
we
the show.
We can do it. We can save it and do it later.
But yeah, whatever. It's fun, man. We're just hanging out, having a good time. That's all we're really doing here. All right, so the first question comes to us from, let's see if I get this right. This is from Brad Out of Hell.
Outta Hell.
I love that name. Also known as Brad Out of Hell, the Game Cat. He writes to us on Discord, hashtag viewer takeover. What are the weirdest PSVR games out there? I haven't ventured far into the Japan PS store, but would hope oddities of old like Mosquito, old like Mr. Mosquito or
Mr.
Seaman
Mosquito.
are still getting made. Have you guys come across anything really bizarre in VR?
There's certainly some strange ones out there. I'm going to come hot out of the gate here and say Kowloon's Gate. Oh,
Yes.
wow. I didn't even know I was going there. Yes, Kowloon's Gate is one of the strangest things I've ever experienced, VR or otherwise. And it's in the Hong Kong store with Japanese and English and Chinese support, so you can play it. In the Japanese store, I think it's Japanese.
Yeah.
But anyway,
That's kind of the general rule of thumb is Hong Kong store tends to have the English versions of things.
yeah. So check that first if you want some weird stuff that maybe came from Japan. But anyways, so it's not full-on Seaman level of strangeness, but it's pretty goddamn strange. You collect shrimp in the world by taking pictures of certain things in a certain way. And then you meet guys like Candy Love. Brian, can you tell me about Candy Love?
Candy Love.
Who's Candy Love?
Candy Love is a gigantic man who does not wear shirts or talk.
He does not wear shirts.
He just kind of wanders around looking very ominous. He has a big tattoo on his back that says Candy Love. He has a tracheotomy hole in his throat where he puts lollipops. That's all I have to say about that.
I love lollipops.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Candy Love is
he's
awesome.
a great guy. As soon as we saw him during your playthrough, I think everyone flipped their shit, and Candy Love became kind of an
the
icon.
Parole
It's like the without
mascot.
parole
Without
mascot.
parole.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just such a strange one, and I don't think you'll find much weirder on PSVR, to be honest.
Probably not. AJ, what's a strange PlayStation Network game?
I've had there are a lot of very strange ones, but I'm going to actually have to go with Thumper, which is actually a really great game. But the concept is that you're a chrome beetle on a track, and it is classified as a rhythm violence game.
One of the best phrases ever coined by anybody in the world. I fucking love the idea of violence.
I do too. And you input the up, down, left, right, or X, square, triangle, circle to whatever it makes you do the command to the rhythm of the game. And then like you get to the end of each level and you fight some kind of like zombie demon head thing, and you have to like it like shoots like a wave at you, and you have to like catch it on time and then shoot it back at it. And the game is just a trip, and it just gets even weirder and weirder as you go on. But really awesome game. There's a demo for it. It's on the PlayStation demo disc, like volume 1 or 2. So if you haven't played Thumper, everybody should have by now. But if you haven't, I highly recommend going and checking that out. It's fun. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go super mainstream on this. This is a game that everybody probably already knows about. But I think if you haven't played Accounting Plus, it's about as weird gets, I think. It is. It's where that guy comes from. Tree Guy is insane. I mean, it's just so bonkers, right? It's got this kind of like escape room feel, but it's not like solving puzzles. It's just like trying to experiment with different items and seeing what they do, and just talking to different weird ass characters. And I mean, it's
Justin Roiland.
It's Justin Roiland.
Well, I mean, it's literally like Justin stream of consciousness once again. I mean, that's what he's best at, is just making up the most random shit. And yeah, that's how you come up with a guy like Tree Guy, or
right.
I don't know. There's so many weird characters.
The other important thing I think is worth mentioning about why this is so weird is it's not just Justin Roiland. It's Crows, which is this guy. I'm totally blanking on his name. It's like William something. He's the guy who made Stanley Parable.
Yeah.
You guys remember Stanley Parable, which was in itself a very strange kind of boundary breaking game that flipped your idea of what you were supposed to be doing on its head. And I think that collaboration between the two of them, you know, you've got Justin Roiland's kind of like nonsensical rambling style of humor, but then when you put it with William Pugh, that's his name, William Pugh.
There you go.
It's such a good combination, and it's just delightfully strange. If you haven't tried it, anybody can play it. I mean, it's very simple. People who don't even like video games can play it and have a good time.
His Twitter handle is called Old Man William. William.
He made himself into an old man recently. Yeah, he tweets as an old man.
And the other thing to remember is that it's not just it's you think about Rick and Morty, and like you think about it's like some kind of structured brand of humor, but like when you pull Dan Harmon from these things, Justin Roiland goes off the deep end.
Oh, it goes way off the deep end,
right? And it almost borders on like humor that's not for everybody, but once you get into it, it's just bonkers, and I love it. That is, I mean, it's something that like maybe if you're new to PlayStation VR, you're not familiar with, but at this point, I think it's probably something that most people have checked out. It's pretty cheap too. It's only like $12 or $13 on the store.
Yeah,
they kept adding to it for a while, a few different updates, a couple new rooms and things. So always fun. It's a good time.
Good one. All right, so J Mind C Sports is up with the next one, and this comes via the Discord. It says #viewer takeover. With Firewall 0 Hour now free and the new season starting, which, yes, by the way, Firewall is free. Make sure you go download it. Don't care if you're interested or not. Go download it before it's too late and give it a try.
Can't miss.
Firewall 0 Hour should see a huge increase in the player base, which it has. I've seen it myself. I myself am brand new to it. What advice do you guys have for a brand new Firewall 0 Hour players? What's the most efficient way to level up? And what should we avoid wasting resources on, etc.?
My simple answer, because you guys are the Firewall pros, so I'm gonna leave my bit of knowledge and then drop out. We spent way too much time at launch when Firewall was a brand new game playing in private lobbies, because we wanted to play with our friends against our friends, and that's all we were doing for like I think 2 days straight. I think we got like 20 hours in and none of us leveled up because like what's happening? Is it broken? Is the XP system? No, you got to play public matches. So play public matches so that you're gaining XP constantly at the beginning. And that's really where my advice stops, because I am not the Firewall pro here. That's a great one. It was a hard lesson for me to learn, though. It's like, come on, it's like 2 days of work down the drain.
Yeah, they've made it a lot more friendly. There's lots of challenges you can do. What I recommend doing is saving all your money, and go for, when it comes to the guns, go for the HZU. That's my personal favorite, and go for the. There's actually a new custom XM-9. Which kind of looks like an RCP-90 in a way, a little bit different, but it's another submachine gun, and it's a new one. They have these new operations that they've added with these seasons that are absolutely fantastic. But, I do have Hey, and this is not a plug, but I do have a tips video that you can go check out. It's a little bit dated, but there's still some good tips in there. But yeah, I mean, the biggest ones I can think is communicate with your team after you go down. Make sure you switch between the cameras. Use your call outs to tell you can win every single match. It doesn't even matter if somebody's coming around the corner and you say they're coming around right now. Boom, they are you. The person that you're helping out is ready to fire into their face as soon as they turn that corner. Also, stick together. You really want to stick together in this game and use your revive pistols. I never use a gun for the secondary. Always be ready to revive your guys. And yeah, there's a lot of different tips for this game for sure. But sticking together is probably one of the most important ones, and communication.
Yeah, I mean, AJ covered pretty much everything I was going to say as far as communicating and sticking together. You don't want to be that guy who's thinking he's going to run out and flank everybody and be a hero.
Which you
and
can
run into
sometimes.
their full. Occasionally you can, but it usually is best to do that after you've already identified where they are.
Right.
And most of your team is facing them off over here, and then you flank them. So don't try to be a hero is the main thing. This is 100% a team-based game. You have to be a part of a team. And if you can't play that way, you're not going to win.
Even if you get the jump on some guys, like a group of guys or a group of people, they can just revive each other and take you out. So,
So as far as like what you should avoid wasting resources on and what the efficient way to level up is, I would say really just find a team that are people that you like that communicate, even if they're not the best shooters in the world. If you have a few people you've met in randoms, send them a PSN invite, get them back in your squad, and kind of get like a regular cadence of like, these are the guys that I play with fairly often, or like a pool of people. Because when you know how people play and you know how to communicate with each other, like AJ said, that is really the meat of being good at the game. So
I've played with some great players. Dave is spot on. I've played with some great players, but if you guys don't gel or have like chemistry, which sometimes it could just take a minute, like sometimes it takes like, it was a couple warm-up rounds, but if it doesn't matter how good you are, if you don't have communication or chemistry, it's not going to matter. You're screwed.
The other thing is the most efficient way to level up is to just play the hell out of it this month, because it's double XP all month.
Nice.
So if you're trying to level up, do that. As far as wasting resources, really there are only a few guns that everybody agrees are top tier guns. And I think if you're not trying to put too much effort into this and you're just trying to have a good time, have a fun game to play with your friends, just talk to people who have played a little bit and say, hey, what do you think is a good loadout? What do you think is a good gun for this situation? And just have a few of them. Like, I don't have every gun unlocked, even though I've played forever. I have enough money to unlock all the guns. I'm just not doing it.
There's a lot of guns that have been nerfed, but
yeah.
I can't stress enough, go for those challenges. Those challenges, especially during right now where you get the double XP, you'll get so much XP going.
Also, just don't be afraid of the game. And don't be afraid of
Have fun.
jumping in and meeting new people. I've met so many cool people online. One of my favorite things to do is not squad up, not team up with anybody I know.
Just total randoms.
Yeah, like just 3:00 in the morning, be like, I just want to play a few games. I don't want to like try to get anything organized together. I jump in, I play with a bunch of random people. I always meet awesome people. They always carry me big time. But they're never like, come on, man, you got to pull your weight. Come on, they're never like that. And I've experienced.
It's not like playing Apex Legends. It's not like playing like
Call of
Fortnite
Duty or something. Yeah,
Call of Duty. Yeah, no, the community is so good that really like. Tips are almost moot because anybody you meet will give you tips if they know what they're doing. Like, if you're in a lobby, people are helpful constantly. That's the one thing about this game is like everybody's just trying to help their teammates be better. And no one's going to be like, oh, you didn't know about proximity mines or something. Like, no one's going to give you shit. They're going to say, oh, well, if you want to do this, then maybe add that to your loadout or whatever. Like, your best teacher will be the people around you, inevitably. So just get in and play it, I think, is really the way to do it.
Totally
and don't
agree.
buy stuff you don't need just to check it out. Like a bunch of the guns, you don't need those guns. There's more guns than you'll ever need. So save your cash, save your XP.
And then the last question, Dave, comes to us from who?
Oh, this is from Rypop.
Ooh.
Good old moderator. It says hashtag viewer takeover. And then there's another hashtag which I cannot read on air. I'm sorry. You'll just have to look at the comment because I can't bring myself to say
Let me cover
According
that.
to Twitter poll.
According to my run of show, it says hashtag RE7 is better than that bot. I
But
fucking agree.
according to your Twitter poll, it's not. So
Yeah.
we have
Hey,
Kinda lost that
divergent.
do you know who I voted for?
Divergent
Do
information.
you know who
here.
I voted for in that poll? I think you do.
Astrobot?
So according to my poll, it's right. Because my
Your
vote,
poll of yourself?
yeah, you voted, and for you that's right, and for me it's right.
When
I'm
you post
I'm
a
not
poll,
telling- I'm
the
not telling
results of the
anyone
poll
else.
are not based on what you voted.
What have you done, Rye?
I'm not.
What have you done?
I'm not telling anyone.
Okay, all right,
Causing a mutiny and
Wrap it up,
chaos
wrap it up. Okay. Wrap Up says, since Sumo Lab has yet again announced another download to Crisis Brigade, it seems like
Multiplayer.
something they add every 3 months, and have shown that awesome, but there's a lot of parentheses here, and he's throwing me off. Okay, they added another update and have shown that an awesome budget title, much love, much like Reggie Strange has. Can we clip this out and I'll read it again?
Shout out to Reggie Strange.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Is there any game you think should step it up and take the same direction, or any game you would like to see the developer give the same amount of love to? Cheers. Y'all so very breathtaking.
Can
Wrap Up, of course, summarily we must say here, you are breathtaking. But that was very difficult to read. That was
There's a lot of stuff going on that.
it's a twisty sentence.
I think Rypop's pretty caffeinated at all times. He has a lot of thoughts he condenses into short spaces.
But I get what he's saying. Essentially, he's saying, is there any other game kind of like Crisis Brigade that should have had these kind of updates, or we would like to see get these updates? So, AJ, what do you think?
I have my favorite answer for this is going to have to be Res Infinite, because they have, the game is great. I love this game a lot, actually. But there's this one Area X mode where the game actually was built for VR, instead of just being the remaster of the old PS2 and was it Dreamcast?
Yep.
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast game. And this was actually like a built from the ground up, I think, VR portion of the game, but it's just one level. I would have loved to see, or would love to see them expand Area X and do like a bunch of levels like that, because that was amazing. That level that they added was incredible, and I would love to play more of that. Absolutely, all day, every day.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was just kind of a taste of what we can expect from Mizuguchi in the VR era, because like we've already gotten Tetris Effect, which even though you can complain about the price or whatever, is mesmerizing and really well done. Very cool implementation in VR. And then Humanity looks pretty cool too, even though I don't know what the fuck it is.
Nope, me neither.
So I think, like, I don't know, with Crisis Brigade, that's definitely a budget title. It definitely behooves them to keep adding stuff. With that one, I just want them to release more games. Like, give me new games. Because what's there is awesome, but I guess I just don't see it happening. But I can't wait for the next enhanced game.
I love Res Infinite, man. I think that's an amazing game. It was amazing at launch.
Yeah,
it still holds
absolutely.
up today. Area X is a little blurrier than the rest of the game because it is so like such an open area. But the effects
those
are
particle
beautiful.
effects, man.
Yeah, man. Like, and honestly, as much as I love Area X, like I would just take more levels because I mean,
It's hard with a game like Res to go in and add new levels. I mean, it's been out for like decades.
yeah, just saying. But that's what I like to see more of in that game. Throw my 2 cents in, maybe my 3. Yeah. I mean, just real quick. This whole conversation started because of Crisis Brigade. They not only gave us like the port ambush update and the ransom update.
So good,
Right? Like tripled the size of the game. They gave us a shooting gallery inside the game, or not shooting gallery, or a target practice range, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Shooting range is probably more correct. But now they're going to give us a 3-player online multiplayer mode to go through the game. That's insane. Like this is
so good.
This was a $6 game, now a $9 game, I think.
When is that coming out? Do we know?
not yet. Soon.
Within the next couple months. They're a small team. It might take them a few minutes. But I mean, it's coming. Like they haven't promised it on Quest. They have promised it on PSVR, so we know it's coming. And it's just exciting to see them put so much care and love into something that was already really cool and then they were like, here's more, and here's more, and by the way, here's more. It's almost mind blowing that they just keep adding to it. So I wanted to give a shout out to them, but obviously I want to give a shout out to I Expect You to Die, the guys over at Shell Games, because I mean the additions to that, there's been 3 huge updates since launch, never charged just a dime. It was insane. And obviously what just happened yesterday was catch and release with the new environment, the cave.
Oh my god, the biggest update it's had yet. They've added storms, they've added like new fish, they've added nighttime. Now they've added this huge cave that's really cool to explore.
Yep. And with this came even more fish to catch, even more items to
Right.
find in the lake, even just more
There's
stuff
some
to buy.
secrets in there too, I think. There's some secrets to find, just like there are in the regular game.
Good stuff. Like, so as much as we're this conversation is focused around all the games we want more from that we might not get. Like I had to give a shout out to all the ones that have been giving us so much for no reason, just because they want to support their games and make it as best as they can. And that's not something you see a whole lot of in game development. Usually it's here's your game. Oh, you didn't like it? Well, here's a patch. Now we're done. It's like, oh, cool. I'll throw my answer into the ring though, and this is going to be one that no one's going to care about, but I will.
Okay.
This is Dying Reborn. The VR version of Dying Reborn had like 3 escape rooms, and the original version had 6. I just felt like this had so much potential. It's like, just keep giving us more rooms. Even like the way it's set up, the lobby of that game, or the main menu of that game, you choose what room you want to walk into. I was like, just keep adding doors to this main room and let me go into things. And I don't care if I have to pay for it, honestly. We just got a bunch of stuff from a bunch of developers that didn't charge us. But like, if that's what it's going to take to get more escape rooms in that game, I know it's not the greatest game, but I really enjoyed it. So that's me. Pretty simple answer.
Yeah. So mine is one that might not be familiar to a lot of people if you've gotten a PSVR recently, but Mortal Blitz was one of the first games that we got that was kind of like scratching that Time Crisis itch. And for the most part, I mean, it's silly, it's over the top, it's ridiculous, but so was Time Crisis, so is House of the Dead. I mean, that's kind of what I love about these games. So they presented like a really cool kind of smaller chapter kind of campaign thing, but they promised there would be more. And in the demo, I don't know if you guys remember this, there's a boss fight right at the end of the demo that never materialized in the full game. There is no boss fight in the full game, like the way that they said there would be in the demo. And so I feel like they had more planned that was supposed to come.
Yeah.
And it hasn't come yet. It's been years. But that's one of those games where I would love to see just chapter 2 or like some added stages or some boss fight or something, because Mortal Blitz is a pretty fun game, to be honest, and not too expensive. And it gets that kind of light gun shooter thing satisfied. So
I will say that game
That's
needs
my
a price
answer.
drop, because you can blast through that in
How
about
much
an
is it
hour.
right now?
It's $20, I think.
It's 20. But it
Oh,
goes on
really?
sale a lot. I mean, it
Yeah.
goes on sale for like
$6,
$8, something like that. And I totally agree, man. I was actually this game. Nobody recommended this game to me. I just went out and took a chance and did it and tried it, and I actually really liked it. It is like
Yeah,
a lot
it's
like
fun.
Time Crisis. Before we had Blood and Truth, before we had Crisis Brigade, this was the closest thing we had to a Time Crisis game, and it actually added its own new mechanics. And I think it was developed by Skonek VR, who actually ended up releasing another game. So I don't expect to see anything added to this, but this is very much like a Time Crisis, old like 90s arcade kind of game. I love the mechanics of grabbing people and like flipping them up in the air, and it goes into slow motion.
Telekinetically, right?
Slow-mo where
yeah.
you, like,
And you have like, and then you can like shoot the hell out of them and they just explode.
and it gives
Really,
you those Unreal Tournament style, like, bruh, 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 you killed that guy really good.
is this
like,
the one that-
extreme?
Is this the one that has like a weird accent though? So it's like killing splay, or
probably.
or was that Code 51? There was a weird game. With
It
a lot of
that might be Code
51, I wish
51.
It
they
might have
added
been
more
Code
to it,
51.
too.
Yeah, but this one did do like this over the top, like Kilimanjaro, like Halo used to do.
like stuff that would come like screaming out of a Mortal Kombat 3 arcade machine, and it almost
Right.
sounds like that. I was like, ooh, yeah.
But the gameplay was fun, and it's just a little short. But I really like the gameplay and the cyberpunk kind of feel. Starting off on the train, on that like helicopter train station. The trains is what it was.
It's a helicopter
It's like the
train.
beginning of
The
Scraper.
helicopter train. Yep. Good stuff though. I do wish they continued it.
All right, you guys, I think that does it for another episode of Viewer Takeover. As always, make sure you change your name to GameCat. Put hashtag GameCat in the comments below so we can find you and give you a shout out on next week's show, GameCat Market. Also, make sure you send us your Viewer Takeover introduction, because we only have one in the queue, so that means we're going to use it real soon. Without Parole at gmail.com. Remember, my name's Brian Paul. I'm a GameCat. welcome to Viewer Takeover. That's all we ask of you, man. Like, we just want to see all the
Everyone say that from now on.
beautiful faces of the Game Cats. Also, if you have a question or comment that you want us to talk about on Viewer Takeover, make sure you put it in the comments below. Hashtag Viewer Takeover, all one word. Or make sure you go onto our Discord, join our Discord, click the link in the description, and leave your comment or question in the Viewer Takeover channel.
Yes.
All right, that's it for another episode of Viewer Takeover. I'm Brian. That was AJ. That's Dave, pointing at different people. I'm pointing at my computer screen, but you can't tell who I'm pointing at because that's not how things work. I love you, cats. We're out of here. It seems strange. Like, let's make animals race around a circle and bet on them.
It's not the craziest thing we've
people
ever
love
done.
NASCAR, man. You watch people make a left turn all day.
Yeah, but
Can you imagine if they had horses in the NASCARs? We would like that even more.